Welcome to my channel again. Hello. Today, I'm gonna be talking about the karmic link between Nate, Maddy, and Cassie. And I'm talking about this because I've been through this and I was Maddy in the situation. I've spoken with the other people in the situation after and they've explained what was going on mentally with them. Not in a way where it was very, like they actually did work inside to be able to actually say what it was, but then I got like psychic readings about it and they told me this person was striving to get something that you have inside that you naturally exude that they have pushed down and it's a part of their shadow and they can't reach because they're so like, their mind is so set on external validation and external 3D things, material things. How do I look? How do I dress? Who's pretty? Who's with me? Who am I dating that looks good, etc. Maddy is also in that karmic lesson because she puts a lot onto how she looks and how she appears.
She quickly realized that there are two kinds of people in the world. The people who sit in the chairs with their feet in the footbath, and the people who kneel in front of the footbath. She used to sit and study the women who came in. She'd pay attention to what they wore, what they'd talk about, and strangely, none of them had confidence.
She asked Nate in the last episode,
"Did you know that I loved you? Did you feel loved by me?"
She asked, did you feel loved by me? Because she's actually trying to understand herself and understand what her role was in that, because she knows that she had a role and she's doing like inner work. In a way, obviously they're in high school and the setting is in high school, so she's not going to be deeply going into it and like uncovering everything all at once, but she is being introspective about it. Nate is not at that level. He doesn't even know what love is because of the type of childhood that he had. Nate doesn't know how to love, and Nate is reckless with people's feelings because people have been reckless with his feelings. He's watching it from his point of view, his lens that he has from what he's gone through, and he feels love towards Maddy. He feels love towards Cassie. Cassie is kind of like an easy thing to control and an easy thing that submits to him. He is attracted to her, but there's like a part of it that he's just a destructive person. Cassie is destructive to herself. So that's why she's putting herself in this predicament in the first place, because Maddy has love for her, Maddy is her friend, and Maddy has not done really anything wrong to her, but she's still betraying her. Why is Cassie betraying Maddy? Cassie is betraying Maddy because Maddy naturally exudes something that Cassie wants and can't tap in herself. Maddy is naturally confident. Maddy is beautiful. Maddy gets a lot of attraction from a lot of people where she doesn't have to play a game with it.
Maddy knew who she was from a very early age. She never knew exactly what it was. She just knew that she had something special, and it gave her confidence.
But then Cassie,
she fell in love with every guy she ever dated. Whether they were smart or stupid or sweet or cruel, it didn't matter. She didn't like to be alone.
Has that thing with sex that she just like giving her body away to whatever gives her attention.
And every guy she ever dated asked for the same things.
Can I film you sucking my dick?
What? No.
And she almost always said yes, even though it didn't always make her feel good.
Even if it's an abuser or somebody that abused her best friend. Why? Because she has low self-worth. That's why she's copying Maddy's looks, copying Maddy's outfits, trying to exude that, but falsely. Trying to act crazy how Maddy acts crazy. But she's not actually like that. She doesn't even really know who she is. And that's why she's clinging on to these different things and building that friendship with Maddy the way that she is. Me being in this situation before, I was Maddy and I had an abusive partner. And I had a friend. Well, we weren't friends at the time, but then they hooked up. And then they were hooking up for a while behind my back. And then after this whole situation, I saw like the text between them and they were all just about me all the time, talking about me, like discussing me, asking about me. That's what the whole conversation was between them in their little time together. They were just talking about me and trying to study. She was trying to study me. Then she started doing things that I would do. Her hair, did her hair like mine, different things with her face like mine. Like things that I personally would do all the time, like how Maddy has a certain look, that person did the look.
Okay. Wait, why? My class is why then?
Anyway, back to where we started.
And then my Nate situation. They were very destructive to me, but then like had some type of love for me, but the love was destructive, abusive, making me doubt my intuition, gaslighting me. Just how Nate gaslighted Maddy in the hot tub.
We're not back together. You're not?
No.
I mean, I was gonna say no, but why are you saying no?
It might seem that way in your head, Maddy, but it's the same word.
Yeah, but it's also the speed with which you said no.
Give me a
It was
fucking
quick.
break.
It
wasn't.
like
No, it wasn't like a reflex at all. It wasn't.
I'm not crazy, right? Because he's always trying to gaslight me.
Yeah.
You see, this is why I don't believe you when you make all these promises and you're like, oh, let's get back together. You're the only person in the world I care about. You're a goddess and it's my fault for not treating you like a goddess. I promise, Maddy, I'll change, I'll grow, I'll be better. I don't deserve you, but I love you. Please, when I go to college, move with me, marry me, have my babies.
Maddy caught on to it, but he was like, no, 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 right with the person right next to him. And I had that same thing where I was like, I swear something's happening more. And he's like, no, 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 gaslighting me. And that made me doubt my intuition. So what Maddy's lesson was that she needs to trust her intuition and have a sense of self-worth. You're not going to be entertaining someone and bringing them to their birthday, somebody that abused you and treating you the way that Nate treated Maddy, unless you have low self-esteem.
Fuck you. I'm sorry I got so angry at you before. I'm sorry.
Nate is also jealous of Maddy. Nate sees the power and pureness that she has, that it was taken away from him when he was younger. And that's why he's mishandling it, because he was mishandled. Nate's karmic lesson with Maddy is seeing a pureness and love that somebody has for you and mishandling it the same way that he was mishandled as a child. Because Maddy does genuinely love Nate and Nate does love Maddy. But the love is not going to transfer as somebody who has gone through those type of things. And she needs to learn to put all that energy she's putting towards Nate, towards herself. And then she's getting some time like to herself as she's single to like really review and realize, but she still feels broken from the relationship. Why does she feel broken from the relationship? Because he damaged her intuition. Everything she's feeling, it's coming from her intuition. Her spirit is warning her and giving her red alarm, red alarm. But he is conveying different, telling her different. It's going against what her intuition is saying, and he's lying and making her doubt herself. So her whole karmic lesson is to not doubt herself, trust in her intuition, and realize her self-worth. Then she will get reconnected with her spirit and be able to lead her life. As you doubt your intuition, you break off your connection with your own spirit, and then you just feel lost.
If there is ever, even for a fleeting moment, a tiny voice in your head, and that tiny voice is telling you, I deserve better, listen to her. That's your partner. That's your real, true love. And if you betray her long enough, you will lose her. Trust me, I'm still trying to get mine back.
Cassie has a lot of work to do and is a mirror to Nate's toxicity and destructiveness. The reason that Nate and Cassie are attracted to each other is because they're both in a destructive state. Nate picked up Cassie on the outside of a 7-Eleven or something, convenience store. While she was crying, sitting on the floor, she just got in an argument. She was low vibrational. Then she attracted Nate, and then that happened. Why was she so careless? Because she was already feeling like she didn't give a fuck about herself, basically.
How you doing tonight?
Terrible.
Something to wash that down. Are you still with McKay?
No.
What happened?
We broke up
Why?
because we were in different places.
Yeah, it's the same shit with me and Maddy.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to focus on myself
Why?
because I keep making mistakes and not learning from them.
Would you like a ride to this party?
So they were mirroring each other in that time period because they're both in low states, Nate and Cassie, and that's why they hooked up. Then they started beginning this destructive cycle because they're building on top of each other's toxicity and childhood wounds, and they're a mirror for that. And then the lesson for Cassie is Well, she has a lot of lessons because she's really just fucking herself over. What she really needs is to love herself. And this shows how far you go when you go so deeply into external validation that you forget who you are. She keeps searching outside of herself so much and forgot who she is so much that the way for her to get out of the situation is to totally crack. And that's why the universe is making this whole situation come together. And that's why it's so karmic and heavy and emotional and just destructive. Because it's a whole lesson of breaking everything down to build it back up. Everything is happening to Maddy because Maddy has, like, when you have a light about yourself that you've forgotten, that's when you attract those type of people.
I wish you could see yourself the way the rest of the world does.
You attract people that are searching for the light that they've lost in themselves. But the lesson is to reject. Reject and trust. But until she rejects and trusts, she's not gonna learn. But yeah, so a karmic relationship is when somebody has a lesson for you. Sometimes karmic relationships are good, that you're gonna learn what true love is, what a healthy relationship is, when you poured so much out that somebody's coming to pour it back into you. But most of the time, a karmic relationship is when you've forgotten who you are and you need to be broken to let the light out. After you get so broken, you're gonna be fed up with yourself and need to search for the light and search for yourself again. So I think that's what's gonna happen with all of them. I don't know though, because they're all so destructive to one another. But also, when one of your family members starts stepping into their truth, because you guys are connected by blood, it trickles down. So because Cal, he is stepping into his truth, even though he's like fucked up, he's still owning his fucked up. And I think that could trickle down for Nate, because now his dad has basically owned up to what he's done. So I don't know. I haven't seen the next episode, but I feel like it'll trickle down a little bit. Maybe he can be more honest with himself and be honest with Cassie and be honest with Maddy, and then distance himself because he sees that his father, honest, distance. Because I told you what it is, but I'm also destructive and I don't care. And Nate is destructive and he doesn't care. But like, he can care somewhere, but he doesn't care to stop. So maybe he will stop. I don't know. Let me know what you think. I hope that made sense.